Picture this. You meet someone, and you do everything right. You text her back within minutes, you make yourself available, you plan thoughtful dates, you remember the small details she mentions. You show genuine interest in her life, her thoughts, her day. You're respectful, you're consistent, you're emotionally present. Everything you were taught a good man should be. And then there's the other guy. He takes hours to respond, sometimes days. He's always busy. His answers are short, almost dismissive. He cancels plans. He seems indifferent, like he couldn't care less whether she's there or not. And she's obsessed with him. Meanwhile, you, the one doing everything right, you get lukewarm responses, delayed texts. "I'm not sure what I'm looking for right now." The slow fade. You've seen it happen. Maybe it's happened to you, and it makes absolutely no sense. What's happening here violates everything you were taught about respect, effort, and how to treat women. It contradicts every romantic movie you've ever seen, every piece of advice you've ever been given. But here's what nobody will tell you. What if everything you were taught was a lie? Here's the truth that will change how you see everything. The human brain, not just women, but all humans, is biologically wired to value what is scarce and dismiss what is abundant. This isn't philosophy. This is neuroscience. For hundreds of thousands of years, women who selected high-status males had offspring that survived. And high-status males, they had options, resources, choices, which meant they were less available. So over evolutionary time, female attraction mechanisms became calibrated to respond to a very specific signal: scarcity. A man who is always available is a man nobody else wants. A man who has limited time is a man in demand. Her brain doesn't process this consciously. She's not sitting there thinking, "Oh, he responded too quickly, therefore he must be low status." No. It happens beneath awareness, automatic, hardwired. Her attraction mechanism is running software written 200,000 years ago, and in that program, availability equals low mate value. Scarcity equals genetic quality. You're not dealing with her choice here, my friend. You're dealing with her biology. And biology doesn't care about fairness. It doesn't care about what should be attractive. It only cares about what triggered survival in our ancestral past. And the uncomfortable truth? The man who was always around, always available, always eager, was the man with no other options, no status, no power. Her brain knows this, even if she doesn't. So let me break down exactly how this works inside her brain. There's a neurotransmitter called dopamine. You've heard of it. Dopamine doesn't get released when you get what you want. It gets released in anticipation of getting what you want, in the uncertainty, in the chase. When you're predictable, when you always respond, always show up, always give attention, you eliminate uncertainty. And without uncertainty, no dopamine spike. Without dopamine, no feeling of excitement, no obsession, no falling in love. But when you're unavailable, when your response is delayed, unpredictable, when she doesn't know if you're interested or not, her brain goes into overdrive. The same neurochemical cascade that happens when someone falls in love, it's triggered by anxious attachment, by uncertainty, by the fear of loss. You're not making her feel love, brother. You're triggering her loss aversion. And in her brain, they feel identical. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. We live in an attention economy, and most men, they give their attention away for free. They overtext, overpursue, overinvest. So when a woman encounters a man who doesn't do this, who has boundaries on his time and attention, it signals something powerful. This is a man other people want. Think about it. A man who responds immediately signals, "I have nothing better to do than wait for your message." A man with delayed responses signals, "My time is in demand. I'm busy building something. You're not the center of my universe." Which man seems higher status? Which man triggers her attraction mechanism? And here's the final piece. When you're unavailable, she starts pursuing. She invests. She reaches out. She wonders about you. And the more she invests, the more she becomes attached. You've reversed the entire dynamic, not through manipulation, through simple scarcity of your most valuable resource, your attention. Let me give you some examples. See if any of these sound familiar. The text response experiment. You text her back in 2 minutes. She reads it. Maybe she responds an hour later with something short. The conversation dies. But when you wait 4 hours to respond, she double texts. She asks if you're okay. She re-engages with energy and length. Same woman, same conversation. The only variable? Your availability. The availability trap. You cancel plans with your friends to see her. You make yourself free. And suddenly, she's tired. She's not feeling it tonight. She needs to reschedule. But when you tell her you're busy, you have plans, you can't meet up, now she wants to see you. She'll adjust her schedule. She'll offer to come to you. The emotional attention pattern. You ask about her day. You remember details. You show genuine investment in her life. She gives you surface-level responses. It was fine, nothing much. But when you become less emotionally available, when you stop asking, stop probing, stop showing that investment, she starts opening up, sharing deeper things, seeking your validation. The social proof phenomenon. When you're alone with her, she's moderately interested. But when other women show you attention, when she sees another woman laugh at your joke, touch your arm, look at you a certain way, her interest spikes dramatically. Every single one of these scenarios follows the same formula. Your scarcity equals her pursuit. Your abundance of attention equals her indifference. If you've experienced even one of these, you've already felt the truth of what I'm telling you. Now, here's what makes this so devastating. You were never taught this. In fact, you were taught the exact opposite. Modern society tells men that effort, availability, and emotional openness are attractive. Communicate more, be vulnerable, show your feelings, make time for her, pursue her, show her you care. But here's what nobody tells you. This advice is designed for female comfort, not female desire. These are two completely different things. Think about every romantic comedy you've ever seen. The persistent nice guy who keeps showing up, keeps trying, keeps proving his love, and eventually wins her over. That's fantasy. That's a script written to keep men compliant, non-threatening, and easy to control. The relationship industrial complex, relationship coaches, therapists, women's magazines, they all say the same thing. Be more available, communicate more, show your emotions. And you know what this creates? Comfortable relationships, safe relationships, not passionate ones. Society has restructured masculine behavior around what makes women feel safe, not what makes women feel attraction. And here's the dark part. These are often opposite. A man who is always emotionally available, always present, always accommodating, he's easier to predict, easier to control, easier to settle with when she's ready for stability. But he's not desired. You were taught to be a good man, but nobody told you that good and attractive are not the same thing. And here's where it all falls apart. The man who does everything right, who is kind, available, emotionally open, invested, he ends up in one of two places: the friend zone or the provider zone. Respected, but not desired. Appreciated, but not wanted. She settles for him while fantasizing about men who made her feel something. Men who were unpredictable, unavailable. Men who didn't give her everything she asked for. And eventually, the relationship dies. Maybe she leaves for someone more exciting. Maybe she stays but becomes resentful, distant, cold. Either way, the passion is gone. And here's the psychological damage this causes. Men internalize this as personal failure. I'm not attractive enough, not successful enough, not interesting enough. So they double down on the very behavior that caused the problem. More availability, more effort, more pursuit, making everything worse. The very thing you thought would make her love you is the thing that guarantees she won't. So here's the reality you need to accept. High-value women are attracted to men who genuinely don't need them. Not men who pretend not to need them, not men playing games or using tactics. Men who have built lives so complete, so purpose-driven, so fulfilling, that a woman becomes optional, not central. You can't fake this. She will detect incongruence between your words and your energy. You have to actually be the man who doesn't need her validation to feel whole. Here's the uncomfortable equation. The less you care about the outcome with her, the better the outcome becomes. The more she has to invest early on, the more she values the relationship. If the power dynamic inverts, if you become the pursuer, the one seeking validation, it never recovers. And here's the filter most men miss. If she requires your constant attention and validation to maintain interest, she's not high value. She's insecure. And you're not her partner, you're her emotional support animal. The woman who needs you to chase her isn't worth catching. And the woman worth having is attracted to the man who doesn't chase. So, what do you do with this information? First, restructure your priorities. Your mission, your purpose, your self-development, these must be primary. She orbits your life. You don't orbit hers. Second, practice strategic scarcity. Not game playing, genuine time allocation. Your time is valuable. Protect it. Invest it in things that build you. Third, develop outcome independence. Build genuine abundance, options, purpose, self-worth, so that no single woman has power over your emotional state. Fourth, shift the frame. You are the prize being evaluated, not the pursuer hoping to be chosen. The question isn't, how do I get her to like me? The question is she adding value to my already complete life? When you embody this authentically, when it's not a tactic but a genuine state of being, scarcity becomes real, and attraction follows automatically. Build a life so valuable that her presence is a privilege, not a necessity, and watch everything change. The game is biological, not personal. Understanding this doesn't make you cynical, it makes you awake. If this opened your eyes, subscribe, because most men will never hear this. And next time, I'm breaking down the exact tests women use to measure your status in the first 10 minutes of meeting you, and why most men fail before they even know they're being evaluated.